Hi everyone, Mike with BPMSport here, making a video to illustrate some testing and development we've been doing with the flash counter. On the bench here we have an ECU from an F80 M4, actually it's from a F80 M3, a 2016 model, and it's been programmed a few times, raising the flash counter to 6. Right now the ECU has the stock firmware in it, so there have been no changes with reference to the flash counter. So I'm going to first illustrate what happens when you program the ECU with the stock firmware in there. So right now we're just going to identify the ECU. This is the same way that you would identify or connect to it if it was actually inside of the vehicle. The only difference I've made to this ECU for illustration of the video is changing the VIN number, so there's no VIN number that appears in the video itself. So right now it's sending a wake-up sequence. It identified the ECU, and you can see all the ECU information here, and the VIN is BPMSport. We can communicate with the ECU so you know it's fully functioning. Obviously it has a bunch of codes right now because it's not actually in a car, but that's not a problem. Just going to clear them to show that the ECU is communicating. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and read the flash counter now. Send, and you can see it returns a value of 6. I'll just tell it to read it again. Value of 6. So now I'm going to program the ECU. And I'm going to just check this because I've already corrected the checksum on the file, so I'm not going to have the application correct it for me since it's already been corrected manually. And I'm going to go ahead and program it with another file. And here it goes. Alright, we're nearing the end of the first program we're doing in this video. Alright, so the ECU has been programmed, and we're going to go ahead and read the flash counter again. And you can see, as expected, it went up by 1 because we just programmed it once. I'll go ahead and read it again, and we have a value of 7. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing again, just to illustrate consistency. I'm going to program the ECU memory, and off goes round number 2. Alright, getting to the end of our second round of programming here. The flash counter was at 7. And it's done. And we're going to read the flash counter. And as expected, the flash counter is now at 8. Just for fun, I'll program it one more time. So we're going to follow the same process as before. Okay, program ECU memory, and off it goes again. Alright, getting to the end here of our third programming session. The counter was last at 8, and we're going to go ahead and send a command to read the counter. and you can see that the counter is now at 9. So basically every time you program the ECU, it should increment by 1 as expected. That's the purpose of the flash counter, is to record how many times the ECU has been programmed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to program a custom firmware that we built, which will make the flash counter act differently than it has been. So I'm going to program ECU memory, and I'm going to choose the BPMSport special reverse counter software. And this one's going to take a bit longer to load because I'm now flashing the entire firmware of the ECU to incorporate the change that we made to make the counter act differently than it did previously in the video. And off we go loading this version. Alright, we've reached the end of programming the special firmware into the ECU. Alright, ignition is off, and we're going to go ahead and read the flash counter. And you can see that the flash counter is 10 now. Alright, and now we are going to program that first file back. And you can see that the flash counter is now 9. It actually went down. We're going to go ahead and program the ECU once again with the same file. Okay. And off we go again. Alright, we're going to go ahead and read the flash counter again. And now we're at 8. Program the ECU memory again. Alright, let's read the flash counter, and we can see it is now 7. If you remember, we started this video with the flash counter at 6, so just for fun, let's roll it back to 6. And off we go. Alright, let's go ahead and read the flash counter again, and we are now at our original 6. So what fun would this video be if we didn't roll the flash counter lower than we originally started with? So let's go ahead and program the ECU again. And off we go again. Alright, we've programmed it again here, and we were last at 6, which is where we started in our start of this video, and you can see that we are now at 5. So to go all the way back through this, we started at 6, we went to 7, we went to 8, 9, 10, and then 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5. Just wanted to illustrate that we can roll the flash counter back on any BMW and show this in action. I appreciate everyone watching, and I hope you learned something from watching this video. Check out our website at www.bpmsport.com.